Exciting news. We have our first article about Seeking Sister Wife season 5. So if you have not watched this show, it is worth going back for a rewatch. You want to go back. I mean, I suggest going back to the very beginning because you start to get this feeling of like, oh, this is what it's like for these people who come on the show. I'd say most of the couples that have gone on the show over the years are taking on their first sister wife, and they don't even really get to the first sister wife. There's a couple of couples who already have 2 and are bringing on more. And in fact, we have at least one of those couples this season. But most of them sort of, the wheels go off of the train very, very quickly, because they say, the husband goes, I really feel called to bring on a sister wife. They tell the wife, oh, it's going to be great. You're going to have a best friend. She's going to help you around the house. They'll bring in more money. We can share expenses. It's going to be great. And the wife goes, yeah, I guess this does sound nice. And very quickly it becomes Captain Horndog and his favorite new person and the new person is like, old wifey can just sit down and be quiet. I am in my honeymoon phase and it's great. And very quickly, old wifey goes, this is not what I signed up for. And there, more than one occasion, the dude has like banged the chick before the wife has even met. They're like, oh, we're going to go out for a meal. And the wife's like, this is so difficult for them to go out without me. And then immediately he comes back and he's like, and then things go sideways. Okay, so this season we have the Merrifields it's Garrick and Big Wife, which you have to watch. I think it was 2 seasons ago where they introduced Big Wife as Big Wife and Little Wife, or was it Small Wife? My husband's pretending he doesn't remember the show. And it's just a train wreck. She's crying all the time. He has like psycho eyes and icky and super gross, and they get divorced so that they can get a K-1 visa to get someone. And finally, at the end of it, we found out that the woman they had been courting for all this time, they'd been giving her money. And it's like, oh, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. And she was like outs. And so I guess they're doing it again. We have another family who were unique in a way we hadn't seen, where it was him and 2 women. He did not work. He stayed home and researched. And research meant he would read articles. And then the 2 women who worked would come back to the house and he would tell them about his research, which was basically like, hey, I read this article today about this and that. And they'd be like, oh, isn't that nice, honey? And they all shared one bed, but they said it was not, like, it wasn't a group thing. I don't know. And then he courted a new girl and married. And so they're back. I guess they're going to talk about whether or not, I guess they got a bigger bed and they're talking about courting again. And then 3 couples that we haven't met. And so I will talk about them more as we get more information about those couples. And I'm getting so excited to do our recaps, which are coming up in like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. I have to go look at the calendar. But who else is going to watch Seeking Sister Wife? Who has been watching Seeking Sister Wife? And who is just going to join us for this season? Let me know.